My name is Matt Ruiz. I'm one of the 6 elephant keepers here at the Cincinnati Zoo and Botanical Garden. And I would like to introduce you all to Sabu and Jati. Now, if you did see our first elephant home safari, you would notice that there were the 3 females. We have 4 Asian elephants here. And now today we have our 1 male, Sabu, in with a little date with Jati. These are our 2 youngest elephants. And so today we're going to be talking about the differences between the male and the female elephants. And I've got a bunch of snacks here for them as well. Some of their favorite treats. We've got bamboo and a bunch of apples as well. So first, right off the bat, you can see that Sabu went in for that first branch of bamboo, and he might not want to share with Jati too much, and that is okay, because when Sabu is out here, he's kind of like the leader of the herd. He's definitely going to use his weight to kind of get what he wants. For example, Sabu weighs 10,400 pounds. Compare that to Jati over there, she only weighs 7,600 pounds. So that's almost 3,000 pounds of a difference just between these 2 right here. So Jati will definitely take a step back and kind of give Sabu what he wants, but I've got a lot of bamboo and snacks here for him. I'll make sure they both get plenty of stuff to eat. So first off, like I mentioned, we have the 4 Asian elephants here, and you can see that Sabu has tusks and Jati does not. That is a very big indicator. If you see an elephant without tusks, you will know there's a very good chance it is a female Asian elephant. On the flip side though, if we had African elephants, both the males and the females would grow tusks. So with the African elephants, it's a little bit harder to tell males and females apart. But with the Asian elephants here, it's pretty easy. Some of the other differences though between African and Asian elephants are the shape of their head structure. So you can see right here on Sabu's forehead, he's got like 2 little domes on top of his head, whereas African elephants, they only have 1 smooth forehead there. And of course, the shape of the ears and the ear size as well. Now, Sabu might weigh over 10,000 pounds, and he's got very large ears, but can you believe that African elephants actually have bigger ears than Sabu does? I also forgot to mention that please submit any questions you may have at any point in time. I'd be happy to answer any questions. But going back to Jati over here, both of these elephants were rescued as orphans, and they actually came here straight to the Cincinnati Zoo for a breeding recommendation. So they actually have had a calf before. It was back in 1991, if I believe. But they have not had a calf since. So today we are on just a little date for some socialization. And on top of that, making sure that Sabu himself, even though the male elephants are a little bit more solitary in the wild, he has a nice, robust social experience as well. So when Jati is not with Sabu, she will be with our other 2 Asian elephant females, and they spend all day together. We can also have them together all night in the yard as well. So we can just mix it up and make sure that they have a unique and robust social experience.
You ready for some questions?
Yeah, let's see if anybody has any questions.
Jane wants to know, what is an elephant's lifespan?
An elephant's lifespan, they can live up to be about 60 years old. So Sabu here, he's 32, and that makes him right about middle-aged. If I remember correctly though, the oldest elephant lived up to be about 77 years old.
Eli wants to know, how big are their feet?
That is a great question, Eli. It is kind of hard to tell because Sabu is a little bit further away, but his feet are actually bigger than a dinner plate. So if you can just imagine a big old dinner plate, his foot would actually be bigger than that.
Jane wants to know if elephants are endangered.
Elephants are endangered, actually. So the Asian elephants here that we have, there's only about 30,000 individuals left in the wild. Now, you would hear a lot about elephant poaching, and the African elephants are usually the target of the poaching because both the males and the females grow tusks, like I mentioned earlier. So by happenstance, the males just are under more attack for the Asian elephants. But yes, there are only 30,000 Asian elephants left in the world.
Emily has a funny question. She wants to know, can elephants really remember everything?
Can elephants really remember everything?
Do they have a good memory?
Why don't we ask Sabu? Sabu, can you remember everything? Do you remember anything? Oh, you remember everything? Good boy. So yeah, I would say that elephants have an incredible memory. They really are as smart and intelligent as a lot of people think. I've been working here for over 6 years, and I can tell you that they all have their own personalities. They definitely remember who has the better treats.
Well, that's a perfect intro to the next question from Sarah. She asked, do they have different personalities? And can you talk about that?
They do. So here, Sabu, you can see that he's definitely saying, you know, these are my snacks. He's taking the bamboo from Jati as he can grab it. So he's definitely food motivated. He really likes his snacks. But other than that, he's really an easygoing male to work with. Jati, on the other hand, from our females, she's our youngest one, so she's definitely got more more energy. She's very eager to work into our training sessions. She's very motivated just by the keeper interaction. She is ready to get involved in any sense. Our other two females, though, they're a little bit older and they're a little bit more easygoing. Mai Tai, who, those of you who are watching who are familiar with the Cincinnati Zoo, Mai Tai is kind of our resident rock star. She's very easygoing. She's basically seen and done it all. She's met all sorts of different people, and she's just happy to hang out and eat some snacks.
Elliot was wondering, is the flapping of the ears and the wagging of their tails, does that mean something? Does it mean they're happy or mad or anything like that?
Yep, so that definitely tells us a lot about their mood and how they're feeling right now. So right now, Sabu, he is flapping his ears and he's wagging his tail. It was very hot earlier, and so normally that would just be a sign of him trying to cool himself down. But right now that we've got some snacks, he is kind of just flapping his ears. He's very content mood right now. If it were to be still really hot, I see we've got some clouds moving in. Elephants don't actually sweat. What they do is they flap their ears back and forth, and that kind of cools the blood before it re-enters their body, and they can cool themselves down that way.
Aubrey, who's 7 years old, would like to know, are they really scared of mice?
That is a great question. While I've never seen any of our elephants be right next to a mouse at the same time, I have seen them kind of shy away from maybe a bird that has flown too fast to their head, or maybe a sudden sound that they weren't expecting. So what I would guess is that the elephants, they do not have a very good sense of vision. They can hear very well and they can smell very well, but if something small and furry were to creep up on them, it might give them a little startle because they didn't see them coming.
Donna wants to know, do they ever take baths?
They do take baths. So right when we started this home safari, Jati was actually just getting out of our pool down the yard, but we as keepers, we give them a bath every day. So a dirty elephant is a happy elephant, so as soon as they get finished with their bath, they're going to go straight into the sand and dust off all over again. But it is important for my job as one of their caretakers to make sure that under all that dirt and dust, their skin is happy and healthy and they don't have any cuts or scrapes. And so a bath is the best way to check their skin that way.
we've gotten a lot of questions. Leslie sent this question in, but a lot of other people have too, wondering about Sabu's tusks and why they're not pointed.
That is a very good question. So we have mentioned tusks several times now. Sabu's in particular, his aren't really pointy because we actually do trim them. So the tusks, they are still like living tissue, you could say. They're just a very long tooth. They have the blood vessels and the nerve endings. So we actually trim them because if they get too long and he were to get it cracked or caught on anything, it would be very painful for him. So we actually don't trim them for, like keeper or human safety. We actually trim them for his safety.
Cynthia wants to know, how large is an elephant baby?
An elephant baby can weigh up to about 350 pounds. I think I said my date wrong earlier. Now that I remember, it's 1998. But that's when Sabu and Jati had their calf, and he weighed several hundred pounds.
And our last question is from Rachel. She wants to know, what is a baby elephant called?
A baby elephant is called a calf. So thank you for all of the questions. I really hope that you enjoyed learning about Sabu and Jati here. I really want to thank everybody for tuning into the home safaris and hanging out here at the Cincinnati Zoo and Botanical Garden. Have a great rest of your day.